Your emotions, your triggers, your patterns, they don't just appear out of nowhere. They're shaped by the beliefs and old wounds you've carried inside, often without realizing it. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Welcome to Mind Elevate. Our channel has one core mission, and that is to help you rise to your higher self. We help you elevate your life with our daily dose of mind-uplifting content and empowering resources. Besides these, every day we share one special affirmation video to help you deepen your meditation practices and achieve your goals faster. These are not just positive words but life-transforming as you tune your mind in. Let's dive into the loaded content in today's video. How to stay in charge of your emotions. The fact many are yet to know is that you're not responsible for everything that happens to you, but you are responsible for how you respond. For clarity, let's picture this. Someone hurts your feelings. Maybe they ignore you, maybe they say something sharp that stings. It's so easy to spiral into, "Why would they do that to me?" But here's a more powerful question. What part of me feels hurt right now? What story am I telling myself about this moment? Often you'll discover it's not really about them. It's about something deeper. Maybe an old fear of not being valued or a belief that you only matter if others approve of you. And here's where the real shift begins. Once you recognize that the source of your pain is inside you, you stop waiting for others to fix it. You stop chasing peace in people or circumstances. Instead, you begin to create peace from within. This is what emotional responsibility looks like. It's not about blame or shame, it's about ownership. When you no longer need people to change for you to feel okay, you reclaim your power. That's when peace becomes your choice, not just a temporary reward. As we keep moving, another truth comes into view. Many people stay stuck, not because change is impossible, but because they're trapped in the same old story. I'm too sensitive. I always mess up. I just can't help the way I react. These aren't facts, they're habits. They're labels we've repeated to ourselves so many times that we mistake them for who we are. But here's the truth. You are not your patterns. You are not your past. You are who you choose to become, starting now. So what if, instead of saying, "I always take things personally," you paused and asked, "Is that really true, or is it just familiar?" This is where change begins, not with fake optimism but with a quiet decision to question your old narrative. Carl Jung called this process integration, bringing the hidden parts of ourselves into the light. It means facing your pain instead of running from it, understanding it instead of suppressing it, and over time, transforming it. Think of someone's harsh words. They only sting if some part of you fears they're true. But if you've done the inner work, if you've built a foundation of real self-trust, those words lose their grip. You know who you are. And no one gets to define that but you. This naturally leads us to another misunderstood truth. Real strength isn't about becoming immune to emotion. It's not about numbing yourself or building walls to shut the world out. True strength is emotional flexibility, the ability to feel deeply without being ruled by what you feel. Jung taught that freedom comes when you stop identifying with every passing emotion. You become the observer, not the storm. Let's say you often feel used, like people take more than they give. That frustration builds, and before long you feel powerless. But what if, instead of blaming them, you asked yourself, "Where am I failing to set boundaries? Why do I keep saying yes when I want to say no?" From there, you make a different choice, not out of anger but out of self-respect. You draw the line. You stop giving out of fear of losing people. And surprisingly, you gain something far more precious: your peace. The world doesn't have to get easier. You just need to become clearer, stronger on the inside, more anchored in your truth. When you stop reacting automatically and start responding with awareness, you become the calm within the chaos. Now think about this. Most people wait for life to get easier before they feel better. But the truth is, your outer world is always responding to your inner energy. Imagine tuning a radio. If you're stuck in fear, self-doubt, or frustration, that's the signal you're sending out, and that's the kind of experiences and people you tend to attract. But when you begin to live from clarity, confidence, and peace, life begins to reflect that back to you. What once triggered you no longer holds power. What once felt impossible starts unfolding more effortlessly. Not because the world changed, but because you did. And here's the beauty of it. Every thought you think is like a seed. Plant fear and you grow anxiety. Plant self-trust and you grow freedom. You don't have to wait for people to treat you better. You don't need permission to stop overthinking. You simply need to shift the energy within you, and everything else begins to move. That's not magic. That's alignment. Most people believe peace will come once everything in life goes right. But real peace, lasting peace, doesn't depend on circumstances. It's something you create, especially when life feels messy. It's not about pretending things don't bother you. It's about learning how to stay steady even when they do. Picture waking up with a heaviness in your chest. Maybe someone's words are replaying in your mind. Maybe you're caught in regret or frustration over something you can't control. You wonder, why does this affect me so much? The answer isn't in the event itself. It's in the story you've built around it, the meaning you've attached. Jung taught that what disturbs us outside is often a reflection of what's unhealed inside. It's not the comment that hurts, it's the self-doubt it wakes up. It's not being ignored that stings, it's the belief that you're not enough. But the moment you pause, breathe, and look within, everything begins to change. You stop reacting from old wounds. You start responding from your conscious self. That's the shift. That's the freedom. And once you begin living from that place, you realize peace was never missing. It was just buried beneath the noise. Big change doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the small, quiet moments, the little decisions you make every day. Like pausing before you react, questioning a negative thought instead of believing it, setting a boundary instead of staying silent. Each time you choose awareness over autopilot, you rewrite your inner code. You plant new beliefs that whisper, I can handle this. I don't need external approval. I am safe to be myself. This is what Jung called integration, bringing all the hidden parts of you into the light so nothing holds power over you in the dark. It's not about perfection. You'll still feel anger. You'll still experience fear. But you won't be ruled by them anymore. That's the difference. Instead of being swept away, you stay anchored. As you keep practicing this, you'll notice how much lighter life feels. Not because the world has changed, but because your inner world is no longer at war with itself. You stop acting from pain. You begin responding from presence. And that presence is powerful. Jung spoke of individuation, the journey of becoming your true self, free from the noise, expectations, and conditioning the world throws at you. In a world constantly telling you who to be, it's no small act of courage to listen to yourself. We're told what success looks like, how we should feel, what emotions are too much, and what dreams are unrealistic. So we shrink. We adjust. We silence our inner voice. But here's the truth. Every time you betray yourself to please others, you drift further from peace. True freedom begins the moment you choose to listen to yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. And sometimes, the simplest practices are the most powerful. Even just a few minutes a day without distractions, no phone, no noise, just you, can reconnect you to something deeper. In that quiet space, you hear your own voice again. You realize what you really feel, what you really need. What part of you has been ignored? You stop running. You start remembering. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to return to who you were before the world told you otherwise. Imagine someone says something rude or hurtful. In the past, it would have pierced you, stayed in your mind for days. You'd overthink it, replay it, wonder what you did wrong. But now you pause and ask, does this really say something about me or more about them? That question shifts everything. Because most of the time, people's words and actions are just a reflection of their inner world. Their mood, their insecurity, their unhealed pain. When you understand this, you stop absorbing other people's energy. You stop letting their opinions become your truth. Not because you're cold or closed off, but because you've built enough clarity to know. What someone says doesn't define you. What you believe about yourself does. This is emotional maturity. It's what Jung meant by the observer self, the part of you that doesn't take everything so personally. You don't have to harden your heart. You just have to guard your peace. And once you learn how to do that, you stop being shaken by the things that once broke you. Finally, remember this. You're still going to feel things. You'll still have moments of sadness, frustration, doubt. But now you won't get stuck there. You'll see emotions for what they are. Temporary waves, not permanent truths. You'll let anger pass without letting it explode. You'll notice fear without letting it freeze you. You'll hold space for sadness without letting it define you. This is emotional mastery. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about meeting your feelings with curiosity instead of shame. Start small. When something upsets you, pause. Ask, what part of me is feeling this? What is this moment trying to teach me? Then breathe. Let the emotion be there, but don't let it take the wheel. Observe it, learn from it, and move forward with intention. This is how peace is built. Not by avoiding life, but by meeting it with awareness, one choice at a time. If the content shared in this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please share this video with someone who needs to take control of their emotions and enjoy true inner peace. Thank you for watching to the end.